Have you ever felt an unusual lump, a sudden, unexplained weight loss, or maybe just a gut feeling that something isn't right? What if I told you that these small, seemingly harmless signs could be silent warnings of something far more serious, something deadly? Today, we're diving deep into the hidden warning signs of cancer, the ones most people overlook until it's too late. But here's the shocking part. Some of these symptoms might be happening to you right now without you even realizing it. Scary, right? But don't panic just yet. Knowledge is power, and in this video, we're breaking down the subtle yet crucial red flags your body might be sending you. You'll learn which symptoms demand immediate attention and how catching them early can literally save your life. So if you care about your health or the health of someone you love, stick with me until the end. You won't want to miss a single second. Before we jump in, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. It takes just a second, but it helps this channel reach more people who need this life-saving information. And if you find this valuable, don't forget to like this video and drop a comment below. Have you ever ignored a symptom that turned out to be serious? I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, let's get into it. Because what you're about to learn could change your life forever. Cancer. It's a word no one wants to hear. But what if the warning signs were there all along, just hiding in plain sight? The truth is, cancer rarely comes out of nowhere. It whispers before it screams. And those whispers, they're subtle symptoms that many people ignore until it's too late. In today's video, we're uncovering these hidden warning signs, what they mean, why they happen, and when you should take action. Because spotting them early could be the difference between life and death. Stay with me. What you're about to learn might just save your life. 1. Persistent cough that doesn't go away. A lingering cough. It starts as a tickle in your throat, maybe a mild irritation that won't seem to go away. You assume it's allergies, a cold that's overstayed its welcome, or maybe just dry air. Weeks go by, and yet the cough persists. It's nothing, right? But what if it's something more? Persistent coughing is one of the most commonly overlooked warning signs of lung cancer. Most people brush it off, assuming it's just part of the changing seasons. But when a cough lingers for weeks, especially without any other cold or flu symptoms, it's your body waving a red flag. It's trying to tell you that something isn't right. And the real danger? We tend to ignore it. Now here's where things get even trickier. Not all persistent coughs mean cancer, but there's a key difference between a regular cough and one that should have you concerned. If your cough doesn't improve after a few weeks, if it gradually worsens, or if it brings up blood, even just tiny specks, you must take it seriously. That's not just an irritated throat. That's your lungs telling you they need help. Think about it. When was the last time you had a cough that just wouldn't quit? Did it come with chest pain? A raspy or hoarse voice? Did it wake you up at night? These subtle changes might not seem alarming at first, but they can be the earliest signs of something far more serious. And here's the scary part. Lung cancer often doesn't show symptoms until it's already advanced. That's why catching it early is critical. The sooner you recognize the warning signs, the better your chances of treatment and survival. So before you shrug off that stubborn cough, ask yourself, how long has this been going on? If the answer is longer than 3 weeks, it's time to get it checked. It could be nothing, or it could be the sign that saves your life. 2. Unexplained rapid weight loss. Imagine stepping on the scale and noticing the numbers dropping. At first, it feels like a pleasant surprise. You haven't changed your diet, you haven't been hitting the gym more than usual, yet the weight keeps coming off. A few pounds here and there might not seem alarming, but what if it doesn't stop? What if over a few months you've lost a significant amount of weight without even trying? Most people associate weight loss with positive change, getting healthier, feeling lighter. But when it happens without explanation, it can be a silent alarm your body is desperately trying to sound. Unexplained weight loss of 10 pounds or more, especially within a short period, is a common early sign of several serious conditions, including cancer. But why? When cancer develops, it disrupts the body's metabolism. Tumors demand energy, stealing nutrients from your body even when you're eating normally. Your body starts burning calories at a rapid pace, and without you even realizing it, the pounds disappear. The most chilling part? This often happens before any pain or other obvious symptoms arise, making it easy to ignore. Think back. Have you lost weight recently without changing anything? Do your clothes feel looser even though your routine is the same? If the scale is moving, but you can't figure out why, your body might be trying to tell you something. Many dismiss sudden weight loss as stress, a fast metabolism, or just a lucky break. But when it happens unexpectedly, it's not luck. It's a warning. If you've experienced significant weight loss without effort, don't ignore it. It could be nothing. Or it could be the sign that helps you catch something early, while there's still time to fight back. 3. Slow healing ulcers. A small cut, a sore inside your mouth, or even a scratch on your skin. Usually these heal within days, maybe a couple of weeks at most. But what if they don't? What if that tiny wound refuses to close, lingering for weeks, even months? It's easy to brush off. A little irritation, maybe an infection. But what if it's something far more dangerous? One of the body's greatest abilities is its power to heal. The skin repairs itself, the mouth regenerates quickly, and even deeper wounds eventually close. But when a sore lingers far beyond the normal healing time, it's not just a delay, it's a red flag. Unhealed wounds, especially in areas like the mouth, skin, or even on the feet, could be an early sign of something your body is struggling to fight off. Cancer, particularly oral skin, or even certain internal cancers, can interfere with the body's ability to heal. A sore that won't go away might be a result of abnormal cell growth preventing the body from regenerating properly. This is especially concerning for those with sores inside the mouth, on the tongue, or around the gums, often dismissed as simple irritations from biting or hot foods. But if it persists for weeks without improvement, it could be a warning sign of oral cancer. Another critical area to watch is any wound that bleeds easily or keeps reopening. If a sore forms a crust but never fully heals, or if a mole suddenly becomes an open wound, it could be a sign of skin cancer. Ignoring it, waiting for it to go away on its own, could mean missing a crucial window for early detection. Your body is built to heal. When it doesn't, there's always a reason. And sometimes that reason is something you can't afford to ignore. 4. Strange spots on the skin that change unusually. It starts as something small, maybe a tiny mole you've had for years, a freckle that suddenly looks darker, or a rough patch of skin that wasn't there before. At first, it's easy to ignore. After all, skin changes over time. But what if that spot isn't just a harmless mark? What if it's your body trying to warn you of something far more serious? Skin cancer doesn't announce itself with pain or discomfort. It starts silently, disguising itself as a simple blemish or a mole you've seen 1,000 times before. But then, something changes. It grows, it darkens. The edges become uneven, or the color isn't uniform anymore. Maybe it starts to itch, bleed, or form a scab that never fully heals. These are the kinds of changes that demand attention, because they might not just be skin deep. The most well-known and deadly form of skin cancer, melanoma, often begins as an unusual spot. Doctors use the ABCDE rule to help identify potential warning signs. A for asymmetry, one side doesn't match the other. B for border, ragged or irregular edges. C for color, variations of black, brown, red, or even white within the same spot. D for diameter, larger than a pencil eraser. And E for evolving, any sudden change in size, shape, or feel. But here's the real danger. Not all dangerous spots look alarming at first. Some cancers mimic normal skin conditions, making them easy to overlook. That tiny pink patch? It could be basal cell carcinoma, a scaly rough area, possibly squamous cell carcinoma. The key is to notice the changes, because skin cancer, when caught early, is highly treatable. Your skin is constantly changing, but when something shifts in an unpredictable way, it's not just aging, it could be a warning. And the question is, will you notice it before it's too late? 5. Persistent stomach pain, bloating. At first, it's just a dull ache. Maybe you chalk it up to something you ate, stress, or just an upset stomach. But then the pain lingers. Days turn into weeks, and it never truly goes away. Some moments it fades, almost convincing you it was nothing. Other times it flares up, sharp and unrelenting. And that's when the question starts creeping in. What if this isn't just a simple stomach ache? Persistent abdominal pain can be one of the most overlooked warning signs of serious health issues, including cancer. While occasional digestive discomfort is normal, pain that lasts for weeks or keeps coming back could point to something far more concerning. Certain cancers, like stomach, pancreatic, liver, or colorectal cancer, often begin with subtle nagging pain in the abdomen, pain that many dismiss until it's too late. The location of the pain can be a clue. A deep, burning sensation in the upper abdomen? It could be linked to the stomach or pancreas. Pain that radiates to the back? That's often associated with pancreatic cancer. Lower abdominal cramping that feels persistent? It may indicate colorectal issues. The challenge is that these symptoms often mimic common digestive problems like indigestion, ulcers, or irritable bowel syndrome. But unlike those conditions, cancer-related pain doesn't go away with dietary changes, medication, or time. What makes this even more alarming is that cancer often develops silently. By the time pain becomes noticeable, the disease may already be advanced. That's why ignoring chronic abdominal pain is a risk no one can afford to take. It's your body's way of signaling that something isn't right, whether it's an underlying tumor pressing against organs, an obstruction forming, or an inflammatory response to abnormal cell growth. So when your stomach keeps hurting and nothing seems to explain it, the real question isn't what you ate. It's whether your body's trying to warn you. And the only way to know for sure? Listen before it's too late. 6. Difficulty swallowing. At first, it's just a little annoyance. Maybe you take a bite of food and feel like it's going down slower than usual. A sip of water doesn't slide down as smoothly as it used to. You shrug it off. Maybe you ate too fast, or maybe your throat is just dry. But then it happens again and again. Suddenly, swallowing isn't as effortless as it once was. What if this isn't just a temporary issue? What if your body is trying to warn you about something far more serious? Difficulty swallowing, or dysphagia, can be an early sign of several serious conditions, including esophageal, throat, and even lung cancer. Most people don't think twice about swallowing. It's automatic, effortless. But when a tumor starts forming in the esophagus, it gradually narrows the passage, making it harder for food and liquid to pass through. At first, it's just solid foods, steak, bread, even rice, that seem harder to get down. Then, as the condition progresses, even soft foods and liquids become difficult to swallow. Some people describe it as a tightening sensation in the throat or chest, as if something is stuck but never really goes away. Others experience frequent choking, coughing while eating, or even unexplained weight loss because they unconsciously start eating less. The most chilling part? By the time swallowing becomes noticeably difficult, the cancer may already be in an advanced stage. But here's the thing. Dysphagia doesn't just appear overnight. It sneaks up gradually, tricking you into believing it's nothing more than a minor irritation. That's why paying attention to the early subtle signs is critical. Because when swallowing stops being effortless, it's not just an inconvenience. It could be the first warning that something far more dangerous is happening inside your body. And the question is, will you recognize the signs before it's too late? 7. Change in bowel habits. Most people don't pay much attention to their daily trips to the bathroom. It's just another routine part of life, something that happens without a second thought. But what if your body was trying to tell you something? Something you couldn't afford to ignore? What if a subtle change in your bowel habits was actually an early warning sign of something far more serious? Colorectal cancer is one of the most common and deadliest forms of cancer, and one of its earliest red flags is a change in your normal bathroom routine. Maybe you've always been regular, but suddenly you're experiencing persistent constipation or diarrhea that doesn't seem to have a clear cause. Maybe your stool is thinner than usual, almost pencil-like, or perhaps you start noticing blood in the toilet bowl, Not just once, but repeatedly. These aren't just random occurrences. They could be the body's way of signaling that something isn't right. At first, it's easy to dismiss these changes. It's just something I ate, you might think. Or maybe you blame it on stress, dehydration, or a lack of fiber. And sometimes that's all it is. But when these irregularities persist for weeks, even months, they demand attention. Because cancer doesn't announce itself with a loud alarm. It starts small, almost unnoticeable, until it's too late. Another terrifying aspect? Colorectal cancer can develop silently, with no pain or obvious discomfort until it reaches an advanced stage. That's why watching for early warning signs is critical. Ignoring small but persistent changes could mean missing a crucial window for early detection, when treatment is most effective. So the real question is, would you recognize these changes if they happened to you? Or would you brush them off, assuming they were nothing? Because sometimes the most dangerous threats are the ones hiding in plain sight. 8. Unusual bleeding. Blood is supposed to stay where it belongs, circulating through our veins, fueling our bodies, keeping us alive. But what happens when it starts appearing in places it shouldn't? A nosebleed after dry weather, a small cut that lingers, or even mild spotting. These might seem harmless. But what about blood in your urine, stool, or even when you cough? That's when it's time to pay attention. Unexplained bleeding is one of the most alarming, yet often ignored warning signs of cancer. Blood in the stool could indicate colorectal cancer. Coughing up blood may point to lung cancer. Women experiencing unusual vaginal bleeding outside of their menstrual cycle, or postmenopausal bleeding, could be facing early signs of cervical or uterine cancer. Blood in the urine? That could be a red flag for bladder or kidney cancer. The key here isn't just the presence of blood, but the fact that it keeps happening with no obvious cause. The human body is designed to heal itself. When a minor cut or scrape occurs, our systems jump into action, forming clots, repairing tissues, and sealing the wound. But cancer disrupts this natural process. It invades tissues, damages blood vessels, and causes internal bleeding, sometimes in small amounts, other times in ways that are impossible to ignore. But here's the most unsettling part. Many people see the warning signs and still hesitate. It's easy to come up with excuses. Maybe it's just hemorrhoids. Maybe I brushed too hard and that's why my gums bled. Maybe it'll stop on its own. And sometimes it does. But when the bleeding is persistent, recurring, or completely out of the ordinary, dismissing it could be the biggest mistake of all. Your body doesn't lie. It sends signals, whispers of trouble before they turn into screams. The question is, are you listening? 9. Unexplained fatigue. We all feel tired sometimes. Maybe it's a late night, a hectic schedule, or just the stress of everyday life. But what happens when that tiredness doesn't go away? What if you wake up exhausted, no matter how much you sleep? What if even small tasks leave you drained? Persistent, unexplained fatigue isn't just about being tired. It's your body waving a red flag, signaling that something isn't right. When fatigue lingers for weeks or months without a clear cause, no major lifestyle changes, no excessive stress, it could be a symptom of something deeper. Many serious illnesses, including different types of cancer, start with a feeling of overwhelming exhaustion. Leukemia, for example, affects the body's ability to produce healthy blood cells, leading to constant fatigue. Cancers that interfere with metabolism, like pancreatic or colon cancer, can drain energy without any obvious external signs. Even lymphoma can cause night sweats, weight loss, and a deep fatigue that sleep simply doesn't fix. The dangerous part? People often ignore this sign, blaming their fatigue on work, age, or lack of sleep. They push through, unaware that their body is struggling to keep up with an internal battle they can't see. It's not just about being tired. It's about the kind of exhaustion that doesn't feel normal. Are you constantly wiped out even after resting? Do you struggle with concentration or feel weak for no reason? Is your fatigue paired with unexplained weight loss or night sweats? These aren't just random symptoms. They could be clues that your body needs help. Ignoring prolonged fatigue won't make it disappear. If your energy levels have plummeted without explanation, it's time to stop brushing it off. Sometimes the biggest warning signs are the ones we try hardest to ignore. 10. Unexplained bone pain. Aches and pains are just part of life, right? A long day at work, a tough workout, or just getting older. There's always an explanation. But what if the pain doesn't go away? What if it lingers deep in your bones, gnawing at you even when you're resting? What if it's something more? Persistent bone pain is often overlooked, brushed off as arthritis or a minor injury. But when the pain is relentless, worsening at night or with no clear reason, it could be a red flag. Bone cancer isn't common, but when it develops, it tends to be aggressive. The pain starts subtly, often mistaken for soreness, but over time, it intensifies. Swelling may follow. A slight bump might lead to a fracture. The bone becomes weak, fragile, something isn't right. Cancerous cells attack from within, breaking down healthy bone tissue, causing discomfort that no amount of rest can fix. And here's what makes it even more deceptive. It doesn't always start in the bones. Some cancers, like breast, lung, or prostate cancer, can spread to the bones, making the pain one of the first signs of something far more serious. Yet too often, people dismiss it. Maybe I slept wrong. Maybe I just need to stretch more. Maybe I'm just getting older. Excuses pile up while the pain grows worse. But cancer doesn't wait. It doesn't care about schedules or second chances. Your body's trying to tell you something. Pain without reason is a message, a warning that shouldn't be ignored. The question isn't whether you can handle it. The question is, will you listen before it changes everything? 11. Unusual lumps, lymph nodes, those small bean-shaped glands scattered throughout your body, are silent warriors in your immune system. They swell when fighting infections, from a mild cold to a throat infection, and usually return to normal once the illness subsides. But what happens when a swollen lymph node doesn't go away? What if it grows larger, becomes firm, or even painful? A persistent, unexplained lump in the neck, armpit, or groin could signal something far more serious than just a passing infection. Lymphoma, leukemia, or even cancers that spread from other parts of the body often make their presence known through swollen lymph nodes. Unlike the soft, tender swelling from a common cold, cancerous nodes tend to be hard, painless, and steadily increasing in size. The tricky part? Many people ignore it. They assume it's just lingering from an old infection or convince themselves it's nothing to worry about. Some don't even notice the lump until it becomes impossible to ignore. But by then, the disease may have already advanced. Lymph nodes are strategically placed near vital areas, your throat, chest, abdomen, allowing cancer to spread silently. A single swollen node might be your body's only clue that something is wrong. Night sweats, unexplained fatigue, and sudden weight loss often follow. Yet these warning signs are frequently brushed aside until they can no longer be ignored. So what should you do? Simple. Pay attention. Feel for any lumps that weren't there before. Watch for changes. If something feels off, trust your instincts and seek answers. The sooner you act, the more options you have. And in a battle where time is everything, waiting is a risk you don't want to take. 12. Persistent headaches with no clear cause. A headache is just a headache until it isn't. We've all had them. Stress, dehydration, a bad night's sleep. Most of the time, they fade with rest, water, or a simple pain reliever. But what if your headache doesn't go away? What if it keeps coming back, getting worse, or feels different from any headache you've ever had? Unexplained, persistent headaches can be more than just an inconvenience. They can be an early warning sign of something serious happening inside your body. Brain tumors, for example, often start with subtle, dull headaches that gradually intensify over time. They may not respond to typical painkillers, and they can be accompanied by symptoms like nausea, vision changes, or even difficulty speaking. But here's where it gets dangerous. Most people dismiss these headaches for far too long. They assume it's just stress or migraines and push through the pain until other symptoms force them to take it seriously. By that point, the underlying issue may have already progressed. Headaches linked to serious conditions tend to have patterns. Do they wake you up at night? Are they worse in the morning? Do they feel like intense pressure inside your skull rather than a normal ache? These could be red flags. And while not every headache means something sinister, ignoring the ones that don't seem normal could be a dangerous mistake. Your brain doesn't send pain signals like the rest of your body. It relies on indirect symptoms like headaches to alert you when something is wrong. If your headaches are changing, worsening, or accompanied by other neurological symptoms, don't brush them aside. Listen to what your body's telling you. Because when it comes to your health, recognizing the signs early could make all the difference. Your health is your greatest asset, and your body is always communicating with you. The question is, are you listening? These warning signs may seem minor, but they could be the early whispers of something serious. Ignoring them won't make them disappear. Taking action now could make all the difference. If you've noticed any of these symptoms, don't wait. Consult a doctor. It's always better to rule out the worst than to find out too late. Early detection saves lives. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an important update. Your support helps spread awareness and could even save someone's life. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and take care of yourself. See you in the next video.